Hey everybody, John Sump here again with the Home Brokerage interviewing the experts. This month's expert is Bob Onchman from RA Inspection and Building Services, which they are a home inspection company. And the question of the day, which I deal with every time I deal with a buyer, is, do I really need a home inspection? My answer is yes. And your answer?
Well, of course. You know, as a person in the construction world and now an inspector, there is a great value in having a home inspection done, especially, you know, when you have an unknown as to what is inside that house that you're buying or selling, for that matter.
Exactly. I kind of like to look at them as, you know, kind of like a Carfax for a car. It's the same thing as a home inspection. That way you know every detail of the home you're buying, and Bob is going to actually take, what, 15 minutes to walk through the house?
No, we take about 3 to 4 hours.
3 or 4 hours, right? Exactly. I mean, 3 or 4 hours where they check everything.
Literally, from the roof to the crawl space on the bottom, if there is one, and everything else, plumbing, electrical.
The outlets, the fixtures.
Outlets, fixtures, appliances.
Right.
Everything.
Now, a lot of clients ask me, what's the difference between a home inspection and a termite inspection?
Oh, well, that's pretty simple, actually. So a pest inspection focuses strictly on structural damage and any infiltration that a water or pest, such as termites, water beetles, wood, boring ants, wood boring bees, for that matter, would penetrate and damage the structure of the house. Mm-hmm. I not only look at that, but I look at everything else. You know, are the plumbing working? Do we have, do we have proper flow, pressure coming out of the pipes?
Right.
Do we have electrical? Is the panel in good condition? Is it, or are we double tapped on circuits? Well, a pest control company is not going to be looking at those particular things where I will.
Right. Oh, absolutely. The other thing too is when you're doing these home inspections, and you come across something that you believe is of a safety issue.
Yes. Do
you actually call that out in more detail? I mean, like call it a health and safety issue, or do you just mark it down and keep going?
Well, that's a good question. For example, we'll go back to that electrical double tap I just talked about. That would be a code violation, and it's a safety issue.
Right.
So what that means is that I've got 2 power lines into 1 breaker, and that is completely illegal.
Right.
And so what happens is, why that is because those electrons can heat up and create a fire.
Oh, wow.
And you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
Until it's too late.
And that's another thing. As I'm walking through homes with buyers and we're talking about the purchase and whatnot, a lot of buyers, when they ask me whether they should get one or not, I do tell them yes, they should. But I think it's real important who you choose also. There's a reason why Bob's here on our program today, because of the fact that Bob's background is in construction. Okay, not all home inspectors have, I'm sure they're great people, but not all home inspectors have the background in construction like Bob does. And that's why I really like using Bob's, not to mention his reports come back amazingly detailed, and also the summary is, like I told you before, I really enjoy the summary. One more thing I wanted to talk about, to touch back on, was the fact of, what is the purpose of getting this for the buyer? Okay. And now, is it only for the buyer? Mm-hmm. It's actually, in my opinion, I believe it's good for the seller as well, because you're disclosing everything about the home that could possibly be in bad condition to the buyer. Whether it's bad condition, fair condition, or whatever, Bob's going to see it, he's going to write it down. Okay? And as every good home inspector should. The other thing is, from a buyer's perspective, when you get these, you need to have this so you know what you're buying in a home. You know exactly what you're getting. Like I said earlier about like a Carfax, it is similar to a Carfax in the extent that you know everything that's wrong with the home, but it's not your wish list of everything to fix in the home.
That's true.
Yeah,
like you touched on my summary. So like in my reports, I highlight, in red what is critical, because to me, life, safety, and health are the 3 things I follow. On top of the standards of practice through CREA and INTERNACHI. Mm-hmm. And so I have an obligation to you and to your customer about pointing these particular things out, and to get the critical things repaired. Everything else you can work on down the road. So I will highlight that in my summary is what is critical, and everything else just will come to being repairs as you move along.
Now that leads me to another question. Some people believe that some of these inspectors write up these things in a way that they can come back later and get to work.
Ah.
How long can you do that?
No, you can't. Technically, well, let me take that back a step. You could, however, under the rules, as an inspector, you can't touch the house that you inspected for 12 months. So if you are a contractor like myself, you can't come back to that house until a whole year later. Otherwise, it's just a conflict of interest.
Exactly. So anything else you'd like to add?
Technology for us is moving along, as we've got lots of opportunities now to advance with, we've got these taller homes now, so sometimes we might have to use a drone and be able to fly up over the roof.
Mm-hmm.
I'm creating a underground crawl unit that will take video images underneath the house, in places that I may not be able to get to myself.
Gotcha. But that'll be significant.
The robot can.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so I'm in the middle of developing that. That's almost completed.
Wonderful.
So,
now, if somebody wanted to get a home inspection, what's the name of your company and how they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me at RA Inspections and Building Services. My phone number is 209-401-5937.
Awesome. And so if you have any questions regarding home inspections, whether you should have one or not, give me a call, give Bob a call, either way. If you think this video has been helpful to you, please like and share it, and make it a great day.